This blessing is so crazy if you're using it on the right champions. In today's video, I want to spotlight one of the new blessings, guys. Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch, and of course, this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now, I had quite a few of you guys commenting on some of the previous videos. Skratch, you should absolutely use this blessing because it's much better than Heaven Cast. Now, I am talking about champions that don't have a 6-star blessing, and the majority of you guys are probably in the same boat. And the new blessing is the Nature's Wrath. Increases the damage inflicted by this champion for every debuff they successfully placed, except debuffs placed by gear sets. So this blessing works absolutely amazing on champions that actually debuff and are able to deal a lot of damage. So Ninja, Val the Destroyer, Razelvark, Holstring, tons of different champions basically will see a massive damage boost with this blessing, especially for the Hydra clan boss. That's exactly what we are going to do today. I do want to give another shout out to Sam. She actually posted quite a few different teams today that looked pretty interesting. And if you guys are not in the RSL leaderboards Discord just yet, make sure you guys join in. If you want to flex your personal best score on anything, or you want to see what's the fastest dungeon run, what's the fastest team, what's the craziest team in the game, this is the right place to be, and I will put a link to this Discord in the pinned comment, guys. So I do want to give another shout out right here to a different person because it actually looked pretty damn badass. So let me just quickly find it for you guys right here. Frozen, he actually brought almost 1 billion damage with Ninja with this blessing. Now, of course, I'm not going to go through the pain and suffering of manualing an entire run just to beat 1 billion damage on Ninja. Not today anyway, but this just shows how impactful a blessing like this can be on the right champions. So I'm quickly going to show you what team I'm using. Then I'm going to walk you through the builds, masteries, and everything else that you need to know. We are going to do hard difficulty, guys. I already used my keys on Nightmare. I already used my keys on Brutal. So the next step is hard. And this week I'm going to skip the Tranda team and I'm going to do this and see what sort of damage we're going to get from here. Now, this is the team, how you may notice right here on the screen. We have Lady Mikage, which will work amazing with Ninja, being from the same faction and all that. We have Molly Tankard to provoke and have a revive in case if dumb things happen with Tuhanarak, because she's being stupid just as usual. And the AI is stupid. Rather than Tuhanarak, the AI is stupid. So Plarium, please fix the AI in the Hydra clan boss. There's so many things that need to be fixed with the Hydra clan boss, but the AI is one of the most important things because we need to auto our keys. Then we have Lydia, defense down, weaken, we have strengthen, we have increased speed, Holstring and Ninja being my damage dealers, and these are some of the best examples. I don't have a very good blessing on Razelvark. If not, I would use him instead of Holstring just to kind of like give it a go with him in the team, but I only have a 1-star blessing on him. These two, both of them, have 5-star blessings. Now, one thing that I quickly want to mention, guys, and we don't have any preset or anything like that. We're just going to go in a full auto. If you guys have a 6-star blessing, most probably for the majority of the champions, Garen Crushing Grand for the Hydra clan boss is going to be better, right? I do need to do some further testing with 6-star blessings to compare a bit the damage. I do think that if you have a champion, for example, like Holstring, he can already ignore quite a bit of defense. I have a Merciless set on him, which will give him 35% additional ignore defense. Then we have Helm Smasher. And with a Great Hall, I think I mentioned that already for the Hydra, 20% more. I feel like I'm already ignoring a lot of defense. I'm almost close to 100% ignore defense, right? And I feel like Crushing Rand, even at 6-star, it won't really benefit a champion like him as much. So I think that Nature's Wrath, even at a 6-star, increasing the damage by 30%, will be more impactful on a champion that's in this situation. Now, if we're talking about Val the Destroyer, Crushing Rand at 6-star is a no-brainer. It will give you more damage. Crushing Rand on Ninja at 6-star, it will give you more damage, at least on paper, with by ignoring all of that defense, you know. But they are special cases for some of these champions that already ignore a lot of defense, where this blessing is just going to be most probably more impactful even if you have a 6-star. So definitely keep that in mind. I already have my Valde Destroyer at 6 stars, so he's never gonna get a taste of this blessing because he is with Crushing Grand. But I know a lot of you guys commented on a couple of my previous videos. Skratch, you should try it on your Valde Destroyer. I changed mine and I gained around 20% increased damage because of that blessing. And that is actually really solid. That's a lot of extra damage on your damage dealer. Not 20% overall for the entire team. 20% for that specific damage dealer, you know. So I do think that is a pretty solid result. So we are 16 turns in. We have 27 million damage. I just wish that Tuhanorak would be better on auto. I feel like with Molly Tankard in here, I don't have to keep an eye as much on the team to make it auto. But I would rather bring in a champion like Harima for a provoke, or somebody else that can provoke and gain some additional damage. I think it's Amazon, baby. Pardon me for that. Somebody was ringing at my door. So yeah, that's basically how we are looking. This rotation is absolutely amazing for Magic champions because we only have one force head. So Ninja, Holstring, Razelvark, whoever else you guys have there on your list will shine a lot in this rotation. They will be pumping a lot of damage. Now I'm very curious to see what sort of damage we are going to get from this team. I do have pretty disgusting builds, especially on Ninja. He's a +4 champion, so there you go. I have all of the gear ascended on him, so it's quite a bit of a difference. This is what annoys me so much with Tuhanorak. She just literally used the A2 on that dead hat that doesn't need block buffs. And right now we got a Toxic Cloud on the other ones because she decided to use the skill too early. Either way, let's leave Tuhanorak on the side and let's slowly pay attention to some of the damage that we are going to get from Ninja, from Holstring. So let's apply the defense down, weaken. Let's put the pressure on. We have increased attack on Holstring. A1, 800k, not bad. Increase the duration of the buffs. Now, I'm not sure how exactly it's working with the blessing. The main thing that kind of like did not intrigue me was that do the debuffs need to be active on the hats for me to gain that damage, or they don't? You know, so that's something that I still need to kind of like pay attention to. But from what I understood, once you land those debuffs, you basically stack up your damage, and that's it. It stays there. It's not going down when the debuffs expire. That's what I understood so far. Now, I might be potentially wrong on this one. Look at that, man. That freaking damage, 3.5, almost 3.6 million damage from Ninja's A1, the basic skill. That is just crazy. Let's check Holstring with his A2. 650, 727, 75. That did not felt very good for whatever reason. So A2 on Ninja. 1.6 million on a decapitated head. That's very nasty. So he can bring potentially 4.5 to 5 million damage only with his A2 skill, which is just absolutely crazy. So we can actually use this right now. So we get the Head of Mischief to target Molly Tankard, and I do want to check a bit the damage, a little bit more. So I do have my my Tuhanorak on a 9-piece protection set. Let's see these random attacks from Holstring. 400k, 600k on the decapitated head. It seems like he's just not dealing a lot of damage versus the Head of Blight there, but let's try to take the Head of Mischief down, maybe. Anyone hitting the head? No, nobody. Okay, there we go. Ninja, 500k, no defense down, no weaken on that head. So if the blessing works in the following way, where once you landed the debuff, you stack the damage and you don't have to worry about it, is actually very, very solid. It's definitely a much better blessing than a Heaven Cast for champions like this, because it's super hard to keep 10 buffs up for the entire duration of the fight, or to keep a lot of buffs on your team for Heaven Cast to really shine. And yeah, I do think that it can work much better and be more beneficial for a lot of players. Turn 38, we have 100 million damage. There we go. Very, very solid result so far. I will let the run go, guys. I'm definitely not going to keep you for the entire duration. Probably because we are doing auto, it will stop at, I would say, 40 minutes. We just had Ninja with the A2 hitting for 1.7, almost 1.8 million damage per hit. So definitely can go up to 5 million with his A2, which is just so damn crazy. I do wish that they would find a way to bring Ninja back into the game for the players that were not playing when the event started, which was ages ago. I feel like a lot of you guys would appreciate that, and a lot of people in the community would absolutely love it. I feel like the community will go mental because Ninja is just such a good champion, you know, and he was a very good champion since the very beginning. And a lot of people used to trash him at the beginning, like so many people. There were people posting on Reddit how they fed their Ninja because he's trash. I'm not even going to get into it. It's just the typical story of all of the free champions, but let's head over to the final result. And here we are, guys, near the end, or actually at the end. It took us 46 minutes on auto, which is actually not too bad. If I would manual this run, probably it would take me double the time just because of the animations and everything else. 1 billion damage. Now, overall, the damage is pretty solid considering that this was a fully auto run. So we have Lady Mikage with 9.1 million damage, Molly with 21.8, Lydia with 160 because she is on a curse set, to Hanorach with 55 because she has a bit of a damage build, Pulse Ring with 285.7 million damage. Not too bad, honestly. Then we have Ninja with almost 500 million damage, 483 to be more specific. So yeah, overall, I do think that is a pretty solid result from Ninja. But as I mentioned, if you are manualing, you're going to take this to the next level. And to be honest with you, this team will pretty much perform in the exact same way on Brutal and Nightmare. The champions already hit the ceiling with the damage. There isn't much more that they can do, you know, like is almost there at the peak. The best thing that I could do, to be honest, is to put another 9-piece protection set either on Lady Mikage, either on Lydia, and put a curse set on somebody else, you know. That's how I could potentially increase the damage a bit more. My Great Hall is already pretty much maxed. So I'm not disappointed with that damage, to be honest with you guys. Let me just quickly show you the builds, masteries, and everything else that you need to know. So the builds are pretty nasty. That's something that you should keep in mind. That's why this team will pretty much do the exact same thing on auto or on a Brutal or Nightmare because of the builds. So that's Lady Mikage right here. These are her total stats. She's not built for Hydra. She's on a stone skin. If I would want to increase the damage more, I would put her on a Reflex and a 4-piece Merciless. Basically, you're going to decrease the cooldown of the ally attack non-stop. And that's going to be massive for her. But these are her total stats. Masteries, I probably can notice they are actually masteries for a PvP. But yeah, Stone Skin set. Then we have Molly Tankard, Regeneration and Perception. She was in there to make sure that the team is auto-friendly. If somebody dies, she can revive. And trust me, they died quite a few times because of the reflect damage and to Hanorach, just being to Hanorach and using the block buffs on the wrong champions. These are her total stats right here. It's just basically speed, resistance, accuracy, and a bit of survivability. Masteries. We have Eagle Eyes tier 6, not even War Master. I should definitely change her to War Master. Then we have Lydia, Curse set. And I want to put her on a Cursed and a Merciless. This will increase the damage even more. Seems like I forgot to do it, to change the gloves and the boots. If I do that, I'm going to have a chance to use the A2 for defense down and weaken more often, which means more damage from my damage dealer. So that's a tip for you guys as well if you haven't done it just yet. Total stats for Lydia. There we go. So she does have full crit rate. She has a good chunk of crit damage, decent attack. She will put in a bit of damage, to be honest with you guys. Then we have the Masteries, War Master as tier 6, support and offense. Then we have to Hanorach, 9-piece protection. She is basically boosting the damage by 5% for each buff. Now, there is a problem when you do this on auto. Your champions will probably end up in using the basic skill when she puts the buffs. If you're not timing it, if you're not syncing it yourself on manual to ensure that you're buffing before they use their big skills to really get the most out of that, you're basically wasting this. So you're not really gaining a lot of value on auto because everything goes randomly, you know. So a 9-piece protection is definitely very, very strong. And masteries for her, we have offense and support, War Master S tier 6. Total stats onto Hanorak. She is built for a bit of damage as well, as I mentioned. Full crit, 5.3k defense, 188 crit damage. So it's decent, you know, nothing too insane. Pulse Ring, so he is on a 6-piece Merciless set. He has a couple of 5-star pieces as well that can definitely be improved. He's not extremely fast. He is empowered at +1. If I would work on his Ascension, his stats will definitely get much better, which will overall increase the damage. But basically, that's what we have with the Hydra stats. So they are pretty crazy stats anyway, because my Great Hall for the Hydra is getting almost at a point where it's maxed on all of the damage stats, you know. So it doesn't look bad at all. Pretty good damage from Pulse Ring. We have offense and support, Helm Smasher as tier 6. And as I mentioned before, he's a champion that ignores a lot of defense. So if the target is under a hex and a decreased speed, he will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Then we have 20%. We have 20% from the Hydra Great Hall, which is already 70% ignore defense. If you put on the Merciless set, that's 105% ignore defense. Then if you put on the Helm Smasher, in case if you don't have both of these debuffs when he attacks, again, you will get close to ignore 100% of the target's defense. Of course, is RNG with Helm Smasher if he's gonna proc or no. That's why I'm saying that for a champion like him, Nature's Wrath is probably the best option even at 6-star, because he already ignores lots of defense. So Crushing Rend won't really enable him to do anything more than he already does, basically, you know. Then we have Ninja, and seems like I've done a big rip. I forgot to put him on a 6-piece Merciless. I was honestly thinking that the damage is just not there, you know. Like I would have expected a little bit more, and now I know why. He was ignoring no defense from the gear set. Big rip, unfortunately, guys, but it still shows you how effective the blessing is, because we managed to do 500 million, okay? Which is definitely crazy. Now, with a full piece of Merciless, with the 6-piece Merciless, this would have been a completely different story. But this was really unfortunate, man. It was really unfortunate that I forgot to add the accessories, you know? Big rip from my side, or at least to change the Zeal set to something else, to give him a 6-piece. Such a shame, but you've seen in the screenshot that I showed you before, Ninja with the same blessing, probably with the 6-piece Merciless, not with the 4-piece Merciless, got almost 1 billion damage. So he will get a lot of extra damage like that. I reckon with that set on, with a full set of 6-piece Merciless, we probably would have gotten close to 700+ million damage. That would have been a massive difference though. But either way, these are his total stats. With the Hydra, very disgusting stats, I would say. 9.7k attack, 400 crit damage. The Great Hall, the Empowerment, the Blessing. Like, look at all the power creep we got in Raid Shadow Legends for the last 1 year and so. Only 108 crit damage from Blessing, Empowerment, and Hydra Great Hall. It's just crazy. Then if you're looking at the rest of the stats, almost 2k attack from that too. It's just nuts how much these things changed. And before when you were building champions, okay, this is what you were getting on them. With the Faction Guardians as well, which is a bit older. This right here, okay? It doesn't look that crazy. But when you add the other side, it's just absolutely nuts, the difference that you have in terms of gear. And these are the masteries right here. Helm Smasher as tier 6. Damn, I'm a bit gutted, guys, that we did not have a full Merciless set on. 4-piece is pretty irrelevant, to be honest. 35% ignore defense comes in play at 6-piece. And we missed it, unfortunately. But either way, you saw what crazy damage he can do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. As usual, appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.